following episode contains strong language, violence, crude humor, use of tobacco and drugs, and references to acupuncture.
Previously on Underground Records.
Well, you got him here. Lay it on him.
Just kind of really scruffy looking character. Looks up finally. My teacher was killed. The closest thing I've ever had to a father. Somebody killed the most dangerous killer I have ever known. And they're telling me that some common street trash called the Axe Gang took him out. That's impossible. I need folks who can take care of themselves. If you do this for me, anything within my power, I will make sure you have it. He is just a mountain of a man. Very, very well made emerald green suit. And he has very nice rings on. So, I gather you're here to inquire after the murder of my brother.
That's correct.
I pick up the tea and go, I'm sorry for your loss.
Technically, I am much safer for him being dead, but we tried many, many times in the past to kill each other. I was once known as the Poison Toad. Nowadays, folks call me Uncle Toad. It's Okada! They own everything! And then there's a loud gunshot, and the window explodes, and so does his head. There is the sound of dozens and dozens and dozens of people pounding down the hallway and smashing at the doors all around the Blue Rose Inn.
Magus, teleport, sister, now?
Take them with us too! And I point to Lugger and Mosey.
And yeah, you're back in the Killer Bee's cistern. You are all safe for now in Killer Bee's place. There are some sources of light. This was the home of a blind man, but it's got facilities and things that you can use. So there is the opportunity for a brief respite and regroup. If y'all have anything you want to discuss, catch up on, to share. Any questions, ask the Slugger or Mose as well. They are floating around, kind of just resting and regathering their strength.
Hey team, that last one took it out of me. I need to rest. It's it was a bit further than normal. I'm gonna go knock out. Wake me up when we have to go.
Thanks for getting us out of there.
Yeah.
Seems as safe a place as any. Unless you're the Killer Bee.
He didn't die here.
Fair enough.
I rolled a dice to see if I understood how to make a coffee, so I'm gonna go see if the well, listen, I'm a feral teenager. Like, there's a very real chance that I've never actually.
How are you? You can't be feral anymore. You've got a dad and clothes and everything.
I'm a semi-feral teenager then.
Have you met a cat someone adopted from the street?
You can take the kitty out the streets, but you can't take the streets out the kitty.
You've all met Mose.
He carries around a shotgun. You think he's mentally sound?
Do any of you have anything that you're doing to help yourselves regroup and prepare? Because there's a lot of people out there that want you dead right now. So it's...
While we are resting, I am taking my drugs so I don't die.
Hell yeah.
I am going to see, did the Killer Bee have a coffee pot or a coffee machine?
He does in fact have a coffee machine in a little kitchenette.
Okay, I am going to go make, quite possibly one of the, I'm going to make coffee and then, run the coffee through the coffee machine a couple times. I'm going to brew the coffee with the coffee products. Maybe... Why are you doing that?
Because
Dad is tired, so, I'm going to make sure that Dad has some
You could just put more coffee in the top. Oh, whatever. Fine.
Listen, if once is strong, then twice is strong.
You need to have more coffee per coffee.
Solid you had solid logic. I'm sorry I argued with you. That's not my place. Let me... You make some coffee that is really bad for the machine.
Not your body, but for the machine.
For the machine, yeah. That is.
Oh,
actually
I'm not drinking any of this. Like, I'm more likely to eat the coffee pot after I'm done serving it. But like,
I'd still like to try to sleep if possible. But if they're just going to kick me and give me coffee twice over, then
I wasn't going to kick
points
you and give you coffee. I was going to have the coffee ready for when you wake up. I'm feral. I'm not a monster.
Are you all wanting to hunker down for a little while here, rest and recover? Or are you wanting to get back out there and be proactive and basically track down the people who are now hunting you? The Slugger and Mose have kind of their own agenda, so they may head out at some point to fulfill that.
I do want us to get back at it as soon as we can while like getting a chance to take a breath.
Yeah.
But as everybody's kind of doing their thing, I want to kick back and take a breather. And you said that he had stuff that wasn't just Braille, but because like he could like read the ink in papers. So I want to see if like there's any like I don't know, some kind of like investigation or something to see if maybe he had something that we didn't notice.
I was going to say, I also want to investigate.
Okay, so y'all want to kind of do another run through of the Killer Bee's space and kind of look through his personal effects more.
All she had to do was take a pill. I think that goes pretty quickly.
Hey, teamwork makes the dream work. I'll assist.
I'm assuming I have the higher investigation because of my character.
Because of you being a private investigator?
Yes.
Okay. I got a 16.
14 is my investigation.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, nice.
There's a reason why I was like, my investigation.
You two CSI this place. Well, like that's how you regroup apparently. So, you do a thorough investigation and going through, you start to organize, you find a little, this man was a pack rat. His papers are all over the place in the magazines and everything. You actually find, far from the tumultuous relationship that was hinted at when you spoke to the man, it turns out the Killer Bee and Uncle Toad have years of correspondence between them.
Ooh.
It's kind of mixed as how you find all of this, because some of it is actually they're Braille sheets that actually there is a computer setup. He does have a basically a speaking machine for him, and he can run these things through and it will speak it out. But through a mix of things, you find that they had extensive communication, and in fact, whatever, as it turns out, was in that safe down there originally, it's not even there anymore. Uncle Toad has it.
Oh.
There's just a reference at one point, the item has been moved to the Bronze Toad, and there is no reference to what is inside of there. Oh, pardon me, there's also more references to the Venoms. Among these is a reference that of the original members, one was the Snake, sometimes known as the Viper, and the Killer Bee apparently killed him and took his place in order to join the Venoms originally. He was about 30 some odd years ago that the Venoms were actually retired. From what you can gather, retirement means you go into hiding or somebody's coming to kill you. And they seem to suspect that their successors might actually be out there hunting them.
Oh, so it's little viperlings. Okay.
I'm reading this. I was like, who would join this organization? They suck.
It turns out that, prestige and shit tons of money can make people do a lot of things that are not great for their health.
Yeah.
Do we have a game plan for, like, where we're going and, like, how hot we're going? Are we going in, like, guns a-blazing? Are we trying to, like, surgical strike this? Or are we just kind of going to cut a path through people?
The Slugger actually is going to raise a hand here and say, it wouldn't be the most elegant solution, and it would technically take us further afield from our target, but we do still have firepower of a kind where Mose and I used to live. It's way on the edge of Scrap Heap. We would have to go even further out than the fridge was, but we could technically go there, arm up. It's an option.
Guns are plan A for me all the time.
He says, we're talking about something with a little more,
punch?
Yeah. A lot more.
I can do that too, but it can take a little bit out of me.
I will spend one of my hero points to reduce the exhaustion to fatigue, and I will be resting for half an hour.
I would say a half hour would probably overlap with these two gumshoes searching through the stacks.
Yeah.
They might have even been like Silas was finally done concocting coffee.
30 minutes seems like a good amount of time for me to keep running coffee through the coffee filter.
So he's brought you this like double extra Cuban coffee, and you're up off of the cot. These two have like, I don't know, made their Charlie Day diagram, and they're like, oh shit, just as you've all kind of regrouped now. There's an area down below that has like some water, like shin deep for most of you. That's where the fish are and all of that. And then it's a vertical tube that goes up to a domed ceiling. And there are 3 big ass tunnels extending off of it, and then a maintenance tunnel, which is actually what you enter through from that door in the red line. Out of one of these 3 big tunnels, there come a pair of glittering, glowing eyes slowly shuffling towards you. This turns out to be the underfolk child that you all met yesterday and gave some cash. This child told you that Nana says you're on the path. Well, this child appears again and actually wanders right in like they own the place, looks around at all of you, and slowly turns to each one of you and just kind of smiles up and says, Nana says come have soup.
Fuck yeah, let's go to Nana's house.
And then turns without even waiting for a response and starts walking off down the same tunnel.
Are we just supposed to follow the creepy child?
Nah, creepy child's cool. I'll go with the creepy child.
I mean, it's the child that we like doted upon.
I gave him like a 20 or whatever, and they're like, that's gonna feed him for weeks.
It was 5, and that was like 50 times what noodles cost.
Yeah. It was like if you'd given them $1, that's 10 cups of noodles. You basically just fed a shitload of kids with like, here's this.
I think, accidentally insulted him by giving him a Tic Tac.
Oh, he thought you were trying to give him drugs. He did. He was like, no.
Also, let's follow the kid who can either phase through walls or can pick locks like it's nothing.
No, remember, just because there's a secure tunnel that you came through with a locked door, there are 3 big tunnels going on. There are 3 big there's water that actually runs through them. There's only a trickle right now, but there's what look like whole canals.
Oh, okay, so he just came in a different way. Got it.
This is a cistern that presumably when an area somewhere above it would flood, it would actually drain into here. So the child leads you off the tunnel. Do you all follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
The slugger and Moe's actually follow in your wake, and at one point the slugger actually drops back to talk to the dirt magus a little bit. How many years has it been since you've seen Nana, or do you keep in touch?
It's been about 5.
I last saw her the day before they took me to prison. She was the one who actually made it known to me that Mose had been taken by the cops topside. I never got to thank her, and I haven't seen her since I've been back.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been trying to just pay it forward. But, when Nana says, it's time for soup, it's time for soup.
The slugger nods and he pats the dirt magus on the back and he says, yep, we were never ones to pass up a good meal.
Nope.
So the child leads y'all into the darkness, and by various means y'all would be able to find your way.
Kind of look at Mose and look at the kid and be like, why are there so many kids involved in this case? So weird.
Mose shrugs and says, there's a lot of kids down here.
I grew up down here. A lot of us were abandoned.
Well, that's depressing.
I fell through a hole.
You fell through a hole. And via a set of stairs that lead through a maintenance door off of the tunnel that he led you through, you are led eventually to a service elevator. And you take this down. The air kind of gets a little cooler as you begin to descend. It's sort of warm throughout these upper tunnels, but it noticeably cools after you go down a little ways. When it opens at the other end of this elevator, there is a whooshing of clean air that rushes in, and there is a rather large and airy space beyond that just has rows and rows of bunks, and there's all these lamps, and it's actually quite a cheerful space, and there's just a ton of kids running through. And at the opposite end of this chamber, there is actually a set of double doors at the top of some stairs, which is partially cracked, and you can see light spilling in from beyond. And there's kids. This is the underground, so some of these kids have extra limbs or extra ears or whatever, but they all appear to be clean and relatively happy. None of them seem to be suffering very terribly. They don't seem very malnourished. They're doing okay here. But also noticeably, they're quite young. Most of them are like under the age of 10.
It's giving Mrs. Clavel's schools for gifted children.
As you move into this space, these kids, they seem wary of you, and they definitely, like, they are aware that distance is a good thing in life, but they don't seem to be necessarily afraid. They're actually scrutinizing you. A lot of these little young eyes, they're looking at you and they're sizing you up. They see that you are not the folks that they would normally be accustomed to seeing out there.
I shift my body language a bit, like make sure the shoulders are relaxed, even if it's a forced relaxed based on everything that's happening. Hands in pockets.
The kid that led you here leads you up the stairs and opens the door. And beyond there is actually another bigger chamber that has several doors, and like there's actually an upper stairway. It looks almost like this used to be some kind of maintenance area, somewhere that you might have taken machines to stage them and fix them. And now it's just a big open space with sort of a foreman's office up top and sort of a wraparound space. And this has in it more couches and chairs. There's some television that's got like Sesame Street or the equivalent thereof playing. The child with the glittering eyes leads you up the stairs and into the foreman's office, and there is a actual proper brick chimney that has been built into the corner and punched through the roof. And sitting in front of this roaring fire is a woman who simultaneously looks very old and absolutely timeless. She sits utterly composed with the posture of a queen, despite the mound of gray hair that is gathered up on top of her head. And there's actually a series of hairnets, different colors, kind of holding it in. And she's wearing an apron. She's rather how you would expect someone called Nana to look. But there's something in the posture, there's something in the eye. There's more to this person. She turns and she rests her eyes on each of you and gives a beaming smile. When she sees Mose, the Dirt Magus, and the Slugger, she actually stands up and she holds her arms wide and she says, "I am so glad to see my boys home safe again." She goes to each of them and she gives them a huge hug. Then she's bustling around the room, and she's actually much quicker than you would think based on appearances. She's dancing around this room, filling up bowls of soup and setting up a little table. Pats a little stool, and she says, "Manny, come sit." And the child with the glittering eyes, who is named Manny, comes over and sits. Without really waiting, just kind of tucks into the bowl of soup that's presented. It smells absolutely heavenly. You can see the green onions. You can see some kind of fish in there. There's mushrooms. These are real ingredients she's using.
I think we have to specify these are real ingredients in the underground.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And as Manny runs to go sit down, I want to like rummage in my pocket real quick and snag a quarter and like flick it over to Manny and be like, "Thanks for the guide, kid."
Manny's hand actually shoots out incredibly fast and snatches it and tucks it away before you don't even see it. The hand is out in the air for a second, hand is in pocket.
Hell yeah. I want him on my side. I feel like he'll be an asset.
Nana sets the table and sits down. There's chairs and space for folks. One of the bigger kids actually comes in and with the assistance of another one, carry out this big pot of soup, which goes out and begins getting served up. You can hear kids kind of assembling and getting bowls and such. Nana smiles around at the group. In a moment, the smile turns sad and she says, "There are a lot of people who mean you all harm right now."
I noticed.
Yeah, we haven't been seeming to make friends down here.
Also, one little flavor bit for Silas. He hands Manny his bowl of soup that he gets, and then he gets himself another bowl and spoon, and from off screen, just some bottles kind of like fly in, break into little shards, some sand goes on top, and he eats basically glass flakes with sand milk like cereal.
Glass flakes with sand milk.
Like, while the rest of y'all are having soup. So, like, you hear a little crunching from time to time.
Samantha's trying her hardest to look badass while eating soup, which is, I think, impossible.
Yeah, right.
It's like trying to look mean while you're blowing bubbles.
Yeah, no, Nana actually looks to Silas and says, "Oh, you'd have been so easy to keep fed."
If you need more glasses, let me know. I can make some before we go.
She actually nods and says, "That would be lovely."
After I'm done eating my bowl, I'm just gonna go and just pull all the glass from within my power radius and just start making plates and glasses and stuff.
Okay. Nana, after a time, says, or asks, I should say, "What is your plan? I am happy to return those who are returning to me, and I am pleased to make new acquaintances, and I know the quest that you're on, but I can't keep you here. So, how are you planning on resolving the situation that lies beyond these doors?"
Samantha just takes the gun out and just shows the gun. That is the plan.
Please put that away.
You're brandishing a firearm around children, you freak.
Maybe she doesn't take it all the way. She just kind of unholsters it a little bit.
I do believe so far the plan is to kill who killed the killer bee. I mean, we've been making our way through the underground. They've been running us crazy down here, but I feel like we're kind of homing in now.
I actually had to dip into my abilities, Hannah.
Her eyebrows go up and she says, "It's that serious then?"
Yeah.
She gives a deep sigh and says, "Excuse me," and stands up from the table, and she goes off to sort of a little room off of the main office type of space. It's just kind of a metal box with a flip top. And she opens it and she rummages inside. I always know when a thing or person has a path set out for it. Very rarely, unless something truly has met its end, it will be needed sometime. As such, and because of the situation we all find ourselves in, I never throw anything away." And she rummages around, and she brings out 4 items, and she's actually going to hand an item to each of you. To each of you, she hands a unique small item. To Timbre, she hands what appears to be a small radio transmitting device. This has a small antenna on it that when flipped up, the device begins to beep, and it will beep variably depending on the direction it's pointed in. To the Dirt Magus, she hands what appears to be a baby food jar sealed with wax. Inside of this baby food jar, there is some kind of yellow substance. It's almost like a wax or a gel in there. When the Magus actually takes this item, you can immediately sense that there is some kind of magic power on it.
Oh.
It crackles through your fingers. Whatever this stuff is, it is not either not of this earth or it is very much of the supernatural here.
Interesting.
To Silas, what she hands you is, it looks almost like a thumb drive. It's a USB stick, but it's very heavy. Like you would say this probably weighs at least a couple of pounds, and it's solid metal. You likewise, with your abilities, you would immediately sense there is something silica-based inside of here. You'd be able to sense that it is a liquid, and it is extremely dense. It's some kind of hyper-concentrated fluid that's inside of this thumb drive.
Is it electronics?
It is electronic, but it is definitely liquid inside. And then to Samantha Stanwyck, you are handed a key. Engraved into the head of that key is the word ignition. She says to Stanwyck, fire. She says to Silas, water. She says to the Dirt Magus, earth. And to Timbre, air. And she holds up a hand, and for a moment, her shadow cast on the wall behind her by the flickering fire makes her appear 20 feet tall in this 10-foot room. Your paths lie far beyond catching a simple murderer. The good you are capable of doing in this world is much greater than that. Hold to the path. She sinks back in her chair and she actually reaches down kind of into a side pocket and pulls out a pipe and begins to smoke.
I'll do as much good as I can, but there's not much good left in the world as far as I can tell.
She shrugs her shoulders. I have found for a very long time that good is where you make it.
I want to clutch the little radio transmitter thing to my chest and say, thank you, Grandma Jesus.
And she nods and she says, you're very welcome, dear.
I put the key in one of my jacket pockets that has a little, either a zipper or something like that.
I'd probably just like go up and be like, thanks, Nana, give her like a big ol' hug, and then just like saunter back and start like figuring out what exactly this is.
When she hugs you back, she says, "Be very careful, dear. Something's watching you."
I know. I'm gonna talk to it because I can do that.
Is that to say that you could read the files on this device?
So yes, I can, but also like I literally can talk to the object. Like I have speak with machines. So like if it is silica based, I can talk to it, like have a conversation with it, or like access the information.
Okay, we're about to reveal a lot of new stuff way earlier than I thought I would. You talk to this liquid hard drive, and it actually has this tiny thumb drive has a storage capacity of beyond terabytes. It would be several petabytes of information. There is a lot of data on here, so much that it would take you a very long time to sift through. But you speak to this device. What it tells you is essentially somewhere in the tangled web of the underground, at some point, and perhaps still existing out there, was an independently funded project called Project Ararat. And Project Ararat was a water purification system that could have changed the water quality of the entire underground. The last updates made on this drive seem to be from many, many years ago.
Does it have a location for where this is?
There are several files which appear to have a block on them of a, like the device actually, even you speaking to it, it resists you in some way. There is something more than just a storage device going on in this little thing the size of a Kit Kat.
So it doesn't want me to know where it is.
It doesn't want you to access certain things on it, and it's kind of like talking to a really cagey person who can only give you certain answers.
Okay.
There's definitely like, it's not certain how you're interfacing with it, but it doesn't, in so much as it can like a thing, it doesn't like it, and it keeps asking you to like input your credentials and things. But there's some things where it actively stops you from like, you cannot dig in there. It's got some kind of way of shielding itself.
To be fair, this is me asking rather than forcing it. So
right.
Yeah, I'm having a conversation with this. This is not a hostile interrogation. This is more of like a, hey, hi. With that information, I'd be like, hey, Dad, we probably have a project after this.
Okay. I mean, we have several, but we can always add more to the list.
One I think you like. But anyway, probably that's for a later time. Let's figure out where these people are and fuck them up before they fuck us up.
It's probably a good idea. So, us escaping, I mean, kind of got us away from our prime suspect, but out of excessive danger. I'm willing to bet that there's scouts scattered throughout the underground. I mean, if we make ourselves a target, I'm sure they'll come running.
And as you say that, there is suddenly a blaring alarm and a red light pops on in the main chamber outside. And Nana looks up and says, "That's the perimeter alarm. They're searching too close to here. You've all got to go."
Yep, we gotta go.
She stands up and she throws a sort of a blanket around her shoulders. The kids are kind of like, they all go into the bunk room and you can hear the locking of a door and the sliding of bolts. She leads you to a bare patch of concrete and just runs her finger down it, and a completely unseen door seamlessly opens from the wall. She bows to you all and she says, "I'll be watching." She gestures into the darkness.
Are the Slugger and Mose coming with us too?
Actually, they're going to step out of the tunnel with you as you all get your bearings. The Slugger kind of does this thing where it seems like he's kind of turning in place between a few different tunnels. He's actually attuning himself to sort of where he is. And after a moment, he says, "All right, I have a meeting that even with guns pointed at my back, I've got to get to. I have to bail on you all, and I'm sorry for that.
No worries.
This is where I leave you for now."
Okay.
We'll meet up later.
And he nods and he says, "Absolutely no, I will be coming back for you all. Because if we don't have some backup of our own, this isn't going to end." Mose is actually going to head off with y'all.
Look, at this point, we gotta figure out whether we're hunkering down somewhere, whether we're taking a fight to them. It's not exactly guns, but we do have firepower, and we can get there from here. It's not even gonna take that long. But Once we get outside these tunnels and we get to Scrap Heap, it's an open-air market, more or less, and our ass is the product. We might get made really quickly, especially because a lot of Axe Gang live in Scrap Heap.
Better go fast, don't die.
Yep.
I mean, it's familiar territory for me.
Mose nods, and he checks the chambers on his revolver, gestures off into the darkness, and y'all start heading towards Scrappy.
While we're walking, I reshift my focus a little bit and adjust my spells for what I have on the tip of my tongue. I will shift to having the Arcane Blast readied, and I'm actually shifting my focus spell to telepathic communication, then start chanting in Latin. Now everybody can hear each other's thoughts.
Oh, great.
Well, not exactly. More like what they want everybody to hear. This can be resisted if you do not like this knock on your mind.
It's telepathy with push to talk.
Sam doesn't resist it, but it's like, this is weird.
Of course it's weird.
Silas has had this used on them numerous times when the Dirt Magus has needed to say something in social situations where it can't be verbally reprimanded. So Silas is like, what did I do wrong this time? Is the first thought I send, because before I realize that you're connecting more people.
Nothing. We just need to be able to communicate without other people hearing us. That's why everybody is here in this network.
Is Mose connected?
Yes.
Mose is kind of tapping on the front of his forehead. He's like,
what the hell? I don't like that. It doesn't feel right.
And after a moment, he seems to kind of shake it off, but he's kind of looking at the Dirt Magus like, ask next time, please.
You can resist. It is allowed.
Yeah, I can't not resist. I'm struggling with that.
He sees maybe a look of confusion from you, and he's like,
look, man, it's complicated. I'll explain it in a moment of time, but basically, I've already got something up here that's processing things that people don't say, and it doesn't like that whatever you just did.
Interesting.
You all head off through the darkness for a little bit, and then up, slowly ascend, and where you emerge, you would actually briefly pass through the red line again. You can see from the color of the lights. You emerge out into the big western chamber of the underground. This is Scrap Heap.
Hey out there, hope you're enjoying the finale of this first selection of Underground Records. If you're listening to this the night after the release, we are doing a live stream for our Ko-fi members. If you're on the $10 or above tier, check out our posts on Ko-fi to get the link to the exclusive live stream. If you are subscribed and you can't make it to the live show, we'll be posting the VOD just for you. This one's going to see Underground Records' Samantha Stanwyck, played by Rachel of course, teaming up with the Underground's best dog detective, Sparky Chase Stick, played by Brandon. For those who aren't members, we'll be doing a public stream next week on July 27th, where we go back to 1866 again. This time we meet a young Beowulf Odinson, played by Alexander Thomas of the Untold Stories Project. He'll be teaming up with Bob the Ronin, played by Brandon. You can also see a live stream that Brandon and I just did to update Sparky Chase Stick's character sheet on our YouTube channel. To keep up with everything we do, though, check out our website and social media posts when we put out our calendars. But for now, let's get back to the game.
You've got everything from walls and alleyways made out of huge piles of metal and concrete to folks whose homes are basically stacked cabins of scrap metal with scaffolding in between them. But it's true to its name. It is this appears to be where the useful garbage goes. It's almost entirely glass, metal, plastic. The underground doesn't throw anything out, but also a lot of shit gets thrown away down here. So there's some stuff that you see parts of cars and boats and things you might not expect. A lot of refrigerators. There are a lot of refrigerators down here.
Those are supposed to get recycled, but here they are.
This is where I started my journey in the underground, and I have edict memory, so I should have a pretty good remembering of how to get around here.
See, you are completely at ease in this area. The grown-ups around you, not so much. The Dirt Magus in particular doesn't trust this space, and then Timbre and Stanwyck, this would be maybe new territory for you because you didn't actually come over here yet. But the grown-ups in the group, your awareness and your sense of danger gives you the first hint that there are people beginning to sort of clumsily stalk after you. There are folks emerging from between stacks of garbage. There's like alleyways made of corrugated metal essentially between some of these buildings and homesteads, and people begin emerging out of there. They don't even necessarily appear to be Axe Gang. They just appear to be kind of like underfolk who are peeking out from around stuff and slowly walking after you. And more than a few of them seem to be holding something behind their back or have their hands shoved down in a pocket. And some of them are just carrying like tools and stuff, and they're slowly walking after you as you proceed.
Any bit of glass within 250 feet I can effectively see through, so nothing should theoretically be able to sneak up on me because I am actively looking for, like, making sure that there's nobody, like, hiding around a corner that's going to jump us when we do that, because there should be enough bits of glass and silica here that I should basically be able to have, like, a eagle eye vision.
Then you probably sense Toph style where they're all standing.
Exactly.
What's really screwed up is that in a lot of these people, you can sense high levels of silica in their bodies just because of exposure.
Ooh.
And beyond that, they probably have a shitload of microplastics, but you aren't able to sense those.
But shit got macroplastics living down here.
Yeah. And Mose is starting to notice folks, and he's like,
Shit.
one hand on the gun in its holster, but he's actually got in his left hand, he has the solid steel nunchucks that he holds in the other side of the belt. He's got them out and, like, gripped. These folks seem to not necessarily be getting ready to rush you or anything, but they are following you as you pass through.
Look, just ignore them until they make a move, because the first person who makes a move is gonna bleed, and then it's all gonna go to shit, and I really don't want to deal with that right now, okay?
Oh, I'm aware.
And folks are starting to kind of line the area ahead of you, and there's a point at which one of them is gonna, like, kind of lunge out and try and grab Mose, and he's gonna bring those two steel bars over and smack the guy's hand. The guy lets go of him and ducks away with a scream, and Mose is gonna point it around at the other ones, the other two that are near him, actually, and they back off a little bit, and he keeps going.
My arcane blast, while it's a power, yes, and it's usually a blast,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to channel the energy into my hand, and it resembles a blue fireball.
Okay.
And out loud I say, Silas, I know I haven't really shown you the extent of my abilities. Do you know what this is? I say this out loud so that other people paying attention can hear it.
Something that's probably gonna really fucking hurt if it touches you.
It's all about control. It doesn't really do anything unless I tell it to. I'm guessing you perceive this as fire, correct?
It looks like fire.
It's definitely not fire. This is arcane energy in its raw form. Its potential. And with anything that has potential, it has power for good and for evil. To harm or to help. But why people perceive this as fire is because their brains interpret this and understand that this can represent a grave amount of danger. And I quickly extinguish it.
By the time you are done making this statement to Silas, the avenue around you is empty.
We gotta go.
All right, that was neat.
He actually starts kind of hustling. He's running at this point. He's also got short little legs, so he's trying his best. You move along into Scrap Heap. The stacks of scrap get narrower and narrower until it's more obvious. It's like these are less organized spaces and more where stuff is just kind of being sorted and thrown. And he leads you past a mountain of microwave ovens, a hill made of crushed oil barrels. Near the soaring expanse of the stone that makes up the back wall of this place, there is some dim lights off in the distance, and there's this squat little concrete building. And it has a ring of crushed cubes of metal, cubed cars and whatnot, stacked up very neatly around it, forming a wall.
That's it. That's El Garaje. That's where we used to live.
As you approach it, there is suddenly a gunshot. Moses' afro is parted by a bullet. There is a shout of something unintelligible off in the distance. There is suddenly the hollering of many voices. There appears to be several dozen Axe Gang swarming towards you, as well as men in black uniforms and tactical gear with rifles who seem to be moving in formation from out of a elevated location. They're kind of moving down, and they have basically the Axe Gang swarming around them as they advance, and they're rushing right towards your location.
Shit, run!
and he bolts into the garage, the processing plant that's ahead. He squeezes around a large metal gate that has been left slightly open.
Get in here now!
Following.
Could I jump over the gate?
You could probably super jump over it. I'd say it's about 10 feet tall.
Is the gate like only one person through at a time level of open?
Yeah, it would be like single file, but it's not gonna...
I'm gonna put a disc of sand underneath us and just like basically hop us over the gate.
I'm super jumping over it.
And I can fly over it.
Well, then I'm gonna pick up Dad and we're going over the gate.
Come on, Dad.
So, Jay for the fireball, and the rest of you for having a sense of style. Everybody take a hero point.
Yeah.
So you get over this wall, and Moe's like butts up against the door and is throwing these huge bolts across it. Just as you hear several bodies slam into that gate, and it rattles. And there you can already hear people crawling over top. Moe's is going to rush over to a door, pull out some keys, unlock, and throw it open. And there is a combination of living space and a metal processing plant inside.
So I'm going to spend a hero point for this because I'm effectively doing a power stunt.
Okay.
There is glass everywhere.
Yeah.
I am basically going to take all the glass from everywhere that was within my power radius and basically just turn the corridor that we just came through into effectively a glass blender.
It's not a corridor. It's basically a double doorway.
I'm saying there were people chasing us. I'm basically going to take all the glass in the area and turn that area where there's people into basically a glass blender.
I got you. As they're coming through the pass between piles of stuff, you're going to kind of caltrip them.
Lacerating everybody that is chasing us.
This actually does slow down a third of them as they're kind of following that one path, and others behind them begin scrambling over stuff. The ones that were ahead aren't caught by it, but it does stop the armed men. Actually, pardon me, never mind. Vantage points, you wouldn't be able to see what I was about to say.
I could see it.
Yeah, you would see then. One of the armed men strikes, like swinging a rifle butt into the head of one of the Axe Gang members, kills him, like just bashes him out of the way. They continue to surge towards, Mo slams the door behind him and he says,
Barricade this with whatever you can, I got some stuff to grab.
He goes running up some stairs to an upper level.
What can barricade with?
There are barrels of little bits of like scrap, like metal filings around. There's furniture, there's desks.
What kind of door handle is it?
Like the lever type of one that's on like in industrial spaces or in warehouse.
Yeah. So I could kind of stick something under there to like...
You could do that.
So I'm going to try to find like a chair or something to like stick under there.
Gotcha.
Alternatively, we said that there's like a shit ton of like glass and everything all around here. Couldn't we just have Silas like just get all the silica, put it all around the edges, and then just make it so these doors aren't doors anymore?
Oh, I was planning on doing that. I was going to wait for other people to put heavier things in front of it before I sealed everything with glass.
Mose returns a couple of seconds later, and in one hand, he's got a pump-action shotgun with the barrel sawed off, and then he's got what appears to be a large tube slung over his shoulder, and he says, Silas, and he points off into a corner, and he says, look under that tarp.
I look under the tarp.
And under the tarp, you find there are several barrels, and one of the first ones there is actually a huge drum full of glass, and there is another one nearby that is full of silica bead packets. As y'all are kind of moving around in the space, there is a slamming noise against the outside door. The chair rattles, and there is also nearby, there is actually a large, very sturdy, segmented garage-style door. There is a couple of shots ring out, and holes start appearing through that, and then somebody hits it with a large hooked tool and begins to punch holes through it. They're not going very quickly, but they're trying to smash this thing open.
I'm gonna start attacking basically the person who's doing the most damage to the door. I'm gonna just start using the glass that is outside and around to start attacking them.
How do you want to do that?
Move object. So DC 23 to attack.
May I specify your target real quick?
Yes.
So your target is standing just outside this door. Two of the guys in armor, and because they're in such close proximity to you, you can actually make out that their helmets say SWAT, and the body armor that they are wearing is HWPD. High Wind Police Department.
Okay.
And the guy that is smashing with his door, he's basically got, and you wouldn't know what this is called, but I'm going to describe it to the players so they have reference. It's called a Denver tool, and it's basically that combination sledgehammer axe with a hook on the end the firefighters use, and he's smashing a hole through this. So you use move object on this guy then?
Yes, so it's a DC 23 to hit.
That will hit, and how are you?
So basically, and then I'm going to follow it up with a grab. So basically, it's all the glass that is outside around him suddenly shoots into his body. It starts like grappling him, so he can't keep swinging this hammer. So that is my grapple check is 28.
Did you just? So to be clear, so you acupuncture the hell out of this guy and then drag him to the ground?
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god! There is a sharp gasp as the needles pierce everything that they can get at, which he's not covered in full body armor, just only certain places. And there's a scream as he's dragged back. He falls a few feet back along the ground, and I would say he's held there. And there's a couple of the other officers behind him immediately go and try and grab him in their hand. He screams and they draw their hands back.
My character is a former Highwind police officer. Would I recognize anyone?
Well, that would be if Silas has shared with you what he found out, because this is extrasensory stuff that he's picked this up through.
Oh, okay, so I can't see this. Okay.
Basically, also through the glass, because I could talk through it. Hey, coppers! Does anybody else want to fuck around and find out?
Because they hear a spectral voice coming out of
from every piece of glass within a 250 radius.
They basically hear their voice coming. Hear your voice coming out of their friend's hand.
Yes.
One of them steps back in horror and rage, and he spins. He aims his rifle at the garage door, and he's just going to sweep back and forth with a quick burst while screaming.
How high is the ceiling in the scrap heap? Not in El Graje, but the scrap heap.
It would not be as high as the main chamber, which we've agreed is probably a couple thousand feet. Like it's skyscraper sized. Most of your buildings are capping out at about 6 stories. I would say that it's maybe about an 8-story ceiling, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Actually, no. Pardon me. Not 8-story. It would go a little bit beyond that. So call it 12 stories. So about 120 feet from ceiling to floor, depending on where you're standing.
Okay.
Because again, it's a huge pile of stuff.
Okay, I would have heard him yell about coppers at this point, right?
Yes.
Are there police officers out there?
I would rattle off whatever name tags I can start seeing. I would start rattling off the names.
Oh, they ain't got name tags on.
I didn't figure they would, probably, but...
What, is there anything that he would have said that I could roll to see if I could identify these people?
No, because it's for all you know in this situation, they're just dressed as SWAT at this point. There's no faces, they're in like the full masks and everything.
Okay.
There's another solid impact. The smaller door begins to dent in.
At this point, I'm going to use quick draw to just take my gun out.
Alrighty, quick draw. Mo's is coming down the stairs. He goes and he kind of grabs like a tool cabinet and he begins moving behind it, this big thick steel cabinet, and he moves over to the middle of the garage area where there is something large under a tarp. And he drags the tarp off of it, and there is a car, an El Camino, that is covered in armored plates and appears to have several weapons on it.
Hell yeah. Let's go, Death Proof.
I guess we're riding in style.
All right.
Sorry about your unexpected haircut.
Look, I was thinking of cutting it short anyway.
He uses the cabinet and he crawls in, opens one of the doors, and he's ducking down inside of this car. And more shots come through and they ping off of this car, and you can hear them ricochet into the concrete in the ceiling. And he fires it up. This car roars to life.
I got what I came for. Anyone feel like sticking around?
No.
Nope.
Also, can we use me as like a turbo for this car and you just hang me out the window and like I sonic scream and make us go faster?
You can try that.
Yeah.
So y'all are piling into the vehicle, is it safe to say?
Yeah.
Am I going to sit on somebody's lap? Like, how many seats are there in this thing?
Well, so it's kind of odd because it's a very modified vehicle. You would have with an El Camino normally you would have 2 seats in the front and then you have a bed on the back. It's basically like a car pickup.
Okay.
That bed actually has a large pivoting cannon of some kind mounted in it with walls that go slightly up so you can duck behind them. And the back seat has actually been completely taken out, and there are 2 weapon stations off of either of the back area, so it's kind of coming out of the sides.
I think we're all at each other's laps.
You're basically sitting around each other in a circle.
Okay.
So there'd be somebody facing backwards, 2 people facing off to the side. Somebody would be, I guess, crammed in the middle.
It's like a station wagon.
And there's another long, it almost looks like a potato gun made out of metal pipes that is going along the hood and the passenger seat. So basically I'm saying, decide where you're driving, because there's essentially some kind of weapon mount off of each part of the car. And unless somebody wants to drive...
I thought Mosey was driving.
Yeah, I guess he's driving.
I mean, he knows where to go.
Yeah.
I certainly don't have my permit.
Mose revs up the engine on this thing, and just as the small door bursts open next to you, and another volley of gunfire pings off of this car, he guns it and actually smashes the garage door out. There is a SWAT officer that is hit by the side mirror and actually sent spinning.
And they're wearing masks, right? I can't see any of their faces.
They're wearing like full helmet, balaclava, and goggles. You hear this guy shout as he goes flying away. An Axe Gang member goes rolling up the hood and flying away, and Mose hits the gates at a run, and they fly open with sparks, and there are people leaping out of your way. For a moment, you are surrounded by Axe Gang as he just kind of plows forward, and you've all got the ability to fire into their midst if you so please.
Which gunnery positions are we all taking up, by the way?
I'm the boost in the back.
Okay, then I'll be on one of the sides.
Mose shouts to you all, I'm gonna warn you now, this ain't gonna kill any of them, but they ain't gonna be happy.
I'll take shotgun and I'll take front seat, because probably being able to see me facing forward probably is the best option, I guess.
Oh, got you. So we've got the children up front, is what we're saying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you've got control of the large forward-facing cannon.
Okay, I want to try and just stick out on the pickup area I just gave with the gun that I am already holding. Because I think that might be deadlier than what's on here.
Where does that leave me?
So I guess you and Samantha are on the side cannons,
Okay.
or at least at those positions.
Mm-hmm.
You could duck up over the cover because you're all kind of squatted down. You could duck up over the cover and like throw your Eldritch Fireball or whatever if that's something you wanted to do.
Oh, it will happen.
And I'm not actually going to do this as a proper combat here because
Okay.
this is a little more overwhelming force versus overwhelming force.
Should I roll to take fire?
So yeah, give me a roll to take fire.
Ooh, I rolled a 19.
Ooh.
And then my heavy pistol is plus 12 and DC 19.
Are you aiming, are you picking out one of the guys in SWAT gear, or are you picking out like an Axe Gang member?
Yeah, I'm going for the SWAT gear. She was burned before by dirty cops, so she's,
okay, yeah, nice. And yeah, that will hit.
And she also thinks they're more of a threat than the Afghan guys.
That will hit, and you aiming for head or chest?
Chest.
As he's bringing the gun up, you catch him straight through the center, and it may not have necessarily killed him because he's clearly wearing body armor.
Yeah.
He's knocked back, falls on his back, immediately has another member of his squad running over to him.
This might not matter since we're not really in combat. Would they count as minions?
These guys, I think I'm having be a little bit tougher than minions.
Okay.
You know what, actually, for the sake of that, because it makes your character able to do more cool shit, I'm always going to be biased in that direction. So I'm going to say screw it. It was a fantastic shot. The SWAT are minions. Give me your follow-up.
Okay, cool. So then I'm just going to shoot again.
The next SWAT?
The next SWAT, yeah. I am going to use a hero point to re-roll. I've rolled in that one.
Click.
Okay, so I rolled a 15 that time, and that would still be with my plus 12.
That will hit. Where you aiming on this one?
Chest again.
The one who's trying to haul his comrade away, he catches one and he falls back, and the other SWAT fall in formation around their fall guy. And the Axe Gang are still swarming around you. They're now trying to beat on the car with pickaxes, and some of them have like short-handled shovels and things. And some of them do, in fact, have axes, machetes, and what have you. Big kitchen knives. So there's a lot of ruckus outside of this vehicle, but none of them are quite able to get in at you yet.
So have we stopped, or are we still going?
You're still going, but they're kind of trying to swarm after the vehicle, and there's only so fast that you can go. It's a tighter area, yeah. Jay, did you want to launch a fireball?
I did. At one of the more visible targets. One that everybody can see. All right.
Are you trying to scare them too?
Oh, hell yeah. Because this is some shit that you don't normally see. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 will hit on Axe Gang.
Okay, cool. It is a DC 23 to resist.
They wouldn't be able to resist on this.
Those of you paying attention and watching this blue beam with like shimmering iridescent trail following it hits one of the Axe Gang members, and you see his entire being unravel like a sweater, and as it's unraveling, it disappears into nothingness.
Oh no!
Not the unmaking missile.
He's been removed from the infinite tapestry.
There's a bunch of Axe Gang that are now fleeing. They're trying to scramble up over the hills of scrap and get away from you. And there's just chaos happening around you. Timbre, would you like to unleash your beautiful voice?
I would indeed. And this is when I feel like just for flavor, it just sounds like that beginning scream in War Pigs. I will not do it, but you can use your imagination. And I don't even know what the fuck kind of roll this would be, but I'm absolutely using a hero point to reroll that because that was a 2.
All right.
Okay, I'll take that. That is an 18. That is, let me see, what my sonic scream.
Are you just trying to unleash your voice in like a powerful way?
Yeah, just like pure concussive voice. Fucking little a sonic boom, basically.
You know what? I'm just gonna give that your attack bonus because you're using something that is kind of an attack. So let's call that 18 plus 8. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a plus 8.
You unleash a huge sonic burst, and it actually does push the car forward some as Mose guns it.
Hell yeah, brother.
He actually goes straight towards a hill that is kind of like compacted garbage. He plows up it, and the wheels kind of spin, and he crests over it like a dune buggy, and y'all just kind of slide down the other side. He hits solid ground again. The tires spin, and he's gunning it. Apparently the braver or stupider of the folks comes streaming after this car, but Mose is picking up speed, and he is gunning it towards an opening, and he is driving now over the old tracks of the Red Line. You've got the raised subway type of platforms on either side, and he's just running in between. There's folks like industrial folks pushing things up above you, and they're just like, what the? You can hear the brief, like, what the hell was that as you go flying by. Mo zooms along, and at one point, so he actually swerves, takes a wide corner. He's actually turn and gun it up some dilapidated concrete stairs, and suddenly the pressure and light change hit you all at once, coming out of the dim darkness, and you are suddenly in the middle of neon glow. The streets are full of people, and they're like getting out of the way and cursing, and some folks are even like throwing bottles at y'all as this car goes through, because there's not
Catches the bottles before they hit the car.
You gotta save that for snacks.
like Neo catching the bullets. There's not exactly a law for you to be breaking, but people are like, what the fuck is this? People are getting out of your way. Mose is just kind of like taking streets, and like he's looking around now, like he's waiting for someone to pull something, and sure enough, there is a loud bang as a bullet hits the hood of the car, and there's another bang, and there's actually an explosion after that one. You hear the sound of a high-powered rifle. There is actually smoke pouring out from under the hood now. Something went straight through the armored plates and has just shot into the engine of the vehicle. It's now knocking and churning, and
fuck it.
and guns it. Drives into a brick alleyway.
Alright, everybody out.
Alright, hop out.
He gets out, he racks the shotgun that he's carrying, and he is actually, he rolls out, and he's actually covering along the back of the vehicle. There's the sound of rushing feet beginning to surround the alley that you're in. More SWAT pour into one end of the alley, and from the other end, a different kind of uniform, nicer armor, more high-tech equipment. They bear the Okada Security Forces logo on their chests. And so either end of this alley, You now have a shitload of essentially cops at either end. And they say, put your weapons down and surrender quietly.
Can I do a power stunt?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I want to power stunt and I want to shoot myself straight up into the air and then back down as like a big sonic boom onto the SWAT guys.
You land in their midst and they, with shouts of surprise, they're buffeted away. But you are also now right in their midst, so if they do, they're knocked down. I would say that a couple of them clutch their helmets, but not necessarily all of them. As you slam into that group, there is an even louder cacophony coming from around, and it sounds like there is an army of people sprinting through the streets.
I hope they're on our side.
And suddenly, a bunch of these Okada forces get grabbed from behind. The SWAT and a bunch of other folks begin streaming from the other end of the alley, and they begin pushing the SWAT away from you and just beating the hell out of them. They've got bats, they've got sledgehammer handles and whatnot. You all have some kind of experience with the underground. These guys are wearing the colors of not only a bunch of different street gangs, they're wearing the colors of dozens of rival street gangs who would have been known to you to be fighting each other for territory. They're working together and actually like beating the shit out of all of these guys. And the slugger actually comes sprinting into the alley, push through. We got to get to the Bronze Toad now. They're trying to kill everybody.
That's what it's about in the underground. Hey, cab, motherfucker.
Is the axe gang still like an issue?
As you all punch out of this alley, because a way has been made for you, the streets of Neon Glow are full of, there are cops down there. There's only a few. But there's a bunch of SWAT. There's a bunch of Axe Gang. And there's a bunch of Okada security forces, and they are all engaged in heavy melee combat with these. About 200 people apparently have showed up.
Yeah.
If you were to take any kind of account, there's maybe 100 street gangs here. Like, there's all kinds of different colors and war paint and uniforms.
Damn.
Hell yeah, brother.
Somebody called in a bunch of favors.
Yeah, Neon Glow is a full-blown battleground right now. Most of it is folks fighting at close quarters. The Bronze Toad is not far from where you are. Describe to me, each of you, the kind of badass moves you're making.
Big punch, like Hulk-style ground pound.
Like some folks surround you and you just punch the ground and blast them back.
So in my head, I'm like jumping out of the El Camino real quick, punch the ground as hard as I can, and to a way that everyone around me does not realize I can punch like this.
More than just jumps.
I'm doing extra effort, and then I will use a hero point to not feel that as much.
They would need to do a dodge, DC 23. That one.
Yeah!
You absolutely crater the pavement beneath you. You send chunks of asphalt flying, and these folks are, some of them are launched back like into other alleys, tossed into garbage cans. One Axe Gang member actually goes flipping through the air.
I jump back to them, and I go, what, do you think I just had a gun?
Kinda.
What is the great wizard Kevin doing?
Pretending not to be as great a wizard and just going pew, pew, pew with the fireballs.
So in slow motion, I probably see like Stanwyck Hulk punches the ground and you spin and throw a fireball. Timber, what's your move, baby?
And then I'm going to be low ground flying, like just feet above the ground and just like zipping through and like just trying to like help the people that are fighting everybody else. So an air punch or two. I see a shitbag SWAT guy about to fucking bring his club down on like some kid who's in like, yeah, he's in a gang, but he's still a kid. So then I get up in there, fucking scream directly in his ear.
His eardrums as well as his sinuses pop when you do this, and he just collapses backwards. Silas, what is your crowd control?
I am walking forward. There's like bursts of sand either coming in or coming out of me. They're just like hitting somebody, slamming them to the ground, going down their throat. Like very quickly and brutally incapacitating people and either robbing them of their ability or their will to fight. And this is just like auto-targeting this for anybody who is like a cop or Axe Gang.
And y'all thought I was crazy for using him to fucking threaten somebody earlier. Do you see this little psychopath?
You all kind of have your big long shot fight scene. You're outside of the Bronze Toad. There are a pair of rather familiar figures. You would have caught a glimpse of them, but you've seen one of them on CCTV. One of them is a huge, towering, armored figure with a helmet and a gas mask, and he's got some heavy weaponry on him. He's got like a grenade launcher slung across his back. He's got a sword in one hand and a studded club in the other. He is actually like fighting off some of these gang members. some of the security forces from the Bronze Toad are actually attacking him with traditional like martial arts weapons. Like one of them straight up has a halberd and another has a Chinese longsword. He seems to actually be rather competent, and he's also obviously very large, so he's swinging at them. Meanwhile, Earl and Ali, the two head bouncers, they have the eagle. They're at the top of the stairs, and the two of them are dueling with him. He's got a knife in one hand. He's got a wakizashi, the medium-length samurai sword, in the other. And so Earl's got his sword, and Ali has his sais. And it's a very intense melee battle between three very skilled opponents. There is a whooshing noise. Past, right over your heads, a baseball goes flying, and it dings the eagle in the side of the head. He staggers, and Ali sweeps his feet. Almost spider-like, the guy drops, the eagle drops onto his back, throws something into the air. There's an explosion of dust, and he goes rolling down the stairs to get away. The slugger, who apparently whipped this baseball from behind you, goes charging in between you and goes straight for the eagle.
Hell yeah.
There are 4 SWAT officers that are closing in on y'all. I want you to roll initiative, because this is it. The showdown at the Bronze Toad. Let's go.
Let's go!
This intel drop is brought to you by the Masks of Mayhem Ko-fi page.
Hey there, Mosey here with Underground Radio Revolution. You go anywhere in the underground right now and you're just hearing people talk about the Killer Bee. Well, who was the Killer Bee? Let's talk about that. The first buzz about the bee came about 20 years ago, maybe longer depending on who you ask. For a skinny old blind man starting over in the underground should have eaten him alive. Instead, the gangsters who tried to jump himself either found themselves grabbing smoke or losing fingers. So word begins to spread, and like all mysteries and legends in the underground, he drew folks to him. In fact, they say that the slugger when he was a kid was one of the first. Some even say Earl Lamar Gibbet is his bastard son, and others say he's his deadliest sword people. I kinda think he's both, but semantics. The Killer Bee was the shit of songs and legends, but one night, something, somewhere in the shadows of his past, had to have caught up to him. Now, I've heard there's an investigation by a ragtag squad of gumshoes that's revealing maybe an army of murderers from the lowest gutter scum to some of the deadliest mercs in the world jumped the most dangerous man in the underground and kinda dropped him in spectacularly legendary fashion. In other words, the Killer Bee died exactly as he lived.
This intel drop was brought to you by the Masks of Mayhem Ko-fi page. If you want to support the show, you can give a one-time donation or become a monthly member to get access to amazing perks like members-only streams. Head over to ko-fi.com/mayhemcast.
A dirty 20 for my initiative.
21.
13 for me.
Dirty 20 as well, but I've only got a +1 dex, so...
As this battle commences, the first person to take the initiative is actually going to be the bear, and he's going to make 2 huge melee attacks. Which I say the bear is actually, he's the large counterpart to the eagle. As you draw into range with him, he actually has a silver pin of all things, a pin on the outside of this massive set of like Kevlar body armor he's wearing, and it is shaped like a bear, like the bear on the California flag. He's gonna make 2 huge melee attacks. One of them, club, is gonna catch one of these gang members in the ribs, and it's going to send him flying over the railing of the stairs leading up to the Bronze Toad. And he's going to thrust with his sword, and he's not quite going to injure the bouncer with the halberd, but he is going to make him dance back because it comes within an inch of cutting his throat. It is now to you, Detective Stanwyck.
Okay, there's kind of like a couple bigger enemies now, right?
Yeah, so the eagle and the bear, who are some of your assassin baddies you've been chasing you, they're approaching the doors of the bar that you guys were at earlier. And you've actually got 4 SWAT members moving in. They actually, one of them appears to have had his helmet torn off, and his face is kind of messed up. He's caught a black eye. All he's actually got at this point is a baton. The others seem to have either abandoned their guns or had them taken from them. They're moving in, and another has a combat knife.
I'm trying to decide whether it's the better thing to try and get rid of the big people or trying to get rid of all the minions so we can just focus on them.
Please take out the mooks.
Yeah, I gotta turn around and just shoot at one of the SWAT people.
All right.
Ugh. I didn't roll that well, but I do have so I rolled a 3, but I have a 12 in heavy pistol. So that would be 15?
A 15, unfortunately, will not hit.
We'll just say that's the last of her strain going away from using her powers.
So the eagle now, he is actually going to make a thrust with his knife towards the slugger's ribs. Will not hit. It actually scrapes off of whatever body armor the slugger's got under that coat and all the horrible layers that he's wearing. The slugger, who is actually right after him, is going to counterattack by trying to smack him in the face with the bat. That also does not hit. He swings and the eagle deflects it with his sword very artfully. It is now Timbre. Sing us your song.
So are they fighting? Was it at the very top of the staircase you said? Because I have an idea, but I want to make sure the environment.
The bouncers were fighting the eagle at the top of the staircase as y'all rolled up. The slugger beamed him with a baseball, and then Ali leg swept him, so he fell down the stairs. So he's now on your level, and the bear is slightly above him on the stairs, brawling with folks.
I want to grab the eagle and take off and shoot up the stairs and through the hole in the roof and then drop him.
Oh, geez. All right. Yeah, roll me a grapple.
That's a nat 1, so we're going to... So then just a 15.
A 15 is not going to be quite enough to grapple the eagle. He actually does some crazy judo shit as you try and fly into him, and he flings you behind him, so you've now ended up...
So now I'm on the stairs?
You're at the top of the stairs, kind of between Earl and Ali, and in fact they reach out and help stabilize you as you come flying towards them. So the eagle is a slippery customer.
Okay.
That brings us to the Magus. Kevin, what you doing?
I'm going to delay until the last segment of initiative.
Okay, delaying your turn. Respect. Silas, it is on to you. What you got for me, you horrible little bastard?
This horrible little bastard is going to start to try and commit some war crimes on the eagle. Because I'm pretty sure what I'm about to try and do to him is against the Geneva Convention.
Jesus Christ.
So I am going to move objects. So I'm going to basically grab a bunch of sand and glass, basically break all the windows behind him and throw all the sand and glass from the area into him. So DC 23 attack.
Yes. he just made he got a 24. So it does not hit, unfortunately.
The grab check that comes with that just says that I can make it after an unarmed attack.
Go for the grab attack.
25 on the grab attack.
That grab succeeds.
I don't know exactly what mechanically this means, but it says suffocate an opponent you've successfully grabbed. Yeah, I basically just grab him. I try and hurt him with the sand. That doesn't do it, but I manage to grab him in it, and I just start shoving sand and glass into every orifice that he breathes through.
His left arm is protruding out as you're surrounding him with all this stuff, and he's trying to claw at his face. He seems to kind of give up on that. And just as you can hear him kind of starting to scream inside, he swings his left arm out and something small, and you can actually sense there's something silica-based in his arm. He snaps his fingers, something glows in his arm for a second, it blinks twice, his forearm explodes, you hear a muffled scream from him, and he vanishes into thin air.
God damn it, slippery bastard.
The slugger who's nearby, he's just wiping bits of the eagle's arm off of his face. He's like, what the hell?
That wasn't me. My kills are usually cleaner.
The cocoon of sand and glass that you had surrounded him, there's now a person-sized gap inside of it, so he appears to have teleported away. That leaves the bear and the SWAT guys. Oh, and actually the SWAT now has their chance, so... the first among them is going to make a rush at you, Stanwyck, because you fired a bullet at them. He's going to swing on you with a baton, and that is going to be a nat 20.
Interpose.
Thank you.
I don't know what was going to happen when I heard nat 20. I'm like, I was already going to probably do this anyway, but I hear nat 20, so I am going to just slurp because that does not sound healthy for you.
Then will a 30 hit you?
Well, that is a 6. I've got a hero point, so let's try and... Well, that is a 24.
He swings for the fences, and even when you appear between him and Stanwyck, he just clocks you. Second SWAT officer, he's actually going to... he does have a pistol on him, and he's going to aim for the Dirt Magus, and he's going to open fire. That'll be a dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Is there a limit to how many times I can interpose?
Yeah, there's no limit listed on it.
Can I, like, throw myself into the way of the bullet?
Sure!
So that would be a 27 on my toughness check versus the bullet.
I don't know what you do with the composition of your body, but it just, like, the bullet just pings off of you. I'm gonna roll these last two SWAT guys real quick. Both of them are gonna make attempt melee attacks of no consequence. They seem to actually be a little bit intimidated at this point, because they've just watched a kid move around the battlefield and take quite a bit of devastation and then shrug off a bullet. Dirt Magus, what magic spells you got for us, my friend?
All right, step 1. I stop concentrating on telepathic psychic friends network. But before I do, you hear end transmission in your minds. Step 2, using my free action to swap out Arcane Blast for teleportation, and then using my action, and you hear a familiar Enochian chant. However, these sigils open up underneath the SWAT guys and the bear. I'm also going to use extra effort, and I'm going to utilize a hero point to reduce the fatigue I would have been getting.
All right.
I'm going to need some dodge checks, DC 19. Can I teleport people naked? Because I have selective.
I'm asking why.
Because then they don't have armor.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that for the sake of creativity, yes, you could manage that. The bear is actually going to make the dodge check just barely. However, the SWAT guys are not. What are you doing with them?
How far away is the area near the tower?
As in, the Okadaplex? It's within a mile. It's big. It's the center of Neon Glow, basically. So you may as well say, how far are you from the center of Neon Glow?
Yeah.
Not far. Not really.
So they're going to fall over 1,800 feet.
Ah, okay.
But not right now. They're going to it'll happen 6 seconds from now. And they'll be naked and doing a header.
Jesus Christ.
They shot my son twice.
To be fair, your boy did jump in front of a baseball bat and a bullet.
Literally both times the boy himself put him in harm's way.
So the damage is 16, which puts the toughness check at 31 for each of them when they do finally hit the ground. Because after the 6 seconds, it'll take 10.578 seconds for them to hit the ground. So they have a chance to not die, maybe.
I'm going to clear this up quick. There are 4 dead cops lying naked on the roof of a lower penthouse of the Okadaplex.
It's going to take at least 3 turns.
It is definitely clear to the bear now that he's running out of options. And so he's going to toss his weapons to the side.
Does he also have a teleporter built into his arm?
So he's going to use a quick draw to pull the grenade launcher off of his back and aim it into the midst of you. Actually, he's going to aim it straight at the slugger. And let me see here. Sorry, one more. As he's about to pull the trigger, there's a loud bang from the bottom of the stairs, and Mose appears between you with the tube from off of his back, and he fires something straight into the bear's chest. And it appears to be some kind of rocket that actually picks him up and launches him through the glass doors of the club. And he basically gets dragged up the stairs and into the club itself. And Earl and Ali, watch him fly past and just look at each other and then look back at y'all. Meanwhile, around you, this battle's wrapping up. There are multiple Okada forces that are basically hogtied on the ground. SWAT officers that are kind of lying twisted in the street, and things appear to have gone very, very badly for the Axe Gang. There was less quarter taken with those. It seems that it was more of a local enemies as opposed to foreign agents type of treatment, where the Axe Gang did not quite get so much mercy.
I feel like there's going to be a socioeconomic and or political problem about the fact that most of the police forces down here have been captured by the gangs, but I feel like that's a problem for future us.
Actually, that's a problem we're going to address right now, because these cops and whatever Axe Gang were actually captured. There's a crowd of folks that is dragged forward, and there are all of these, as far as you're aware, gang members that are now surrounding 200 people assembled around the bottom of the stairs. Ali and Earl have actually retreated into the building, and they've dragged the bear with a smoking hole in the chest of his armor. And he's a big man, but he's laying there groaning. And they begin to strip his armor and weapons off of him. And they bring out actually their own rather significant pair of handcuffs from somewhere. Like these are heavy duty. You look like you could chain a motorcycle with the damn things. The slugger just kind of stands on the stairs for a second, and Mose comes up next to him and
So what's the plan? Are we gonna flush him?
And the slugger nods and he says, "Yep, we're gonna flush him." The last thing that happens before he starts away through, he actually walks and the crowd parts around him and Mose. They walk away through it. And as they're walking away, Uncle Toad actually comes crunching over the glass. He doesn't have a hair out of place. The man is as well put together as when you met him. The gold rings flashing. Green silk suit looks completely out of place with the carnage around him. And he's smoking his cigar. "Thank you for being good neighbors. It's on the house anytime you want to come by and see us again." With that, Earl actually swings out his boot and sends the bear tumbling down the stairs to lay unconscious at the feet of all of you. And they all go back through the shattered glass door and retreat back into the club. And some of the bouncers actually come out and begin sweeping the stairs as if nothing happened.
Oh, I'm going to put all the glass back into the doors and windows.
Splendid.
I kind of like this guy. I want to be on his good side, so I'm going to fix his windows that I broke for him.
The captives start getting carried off through neon glow and towards actually the back wall, away from the club, but towards the outer limits. And after a while following this crowd, a bunch of them break off and just kind of guard a particular entrance. A lot of them are just kind of standing around. Some of them piss off entirely. But a large crowd of them, especially some who seem to be giving orders to the others, maybe lieutenants within their particular groups, they do stick along, and they're the ones who are actually manhandling these folks along. Deep into what would be known as the arteries. Very deep. Walking for a while, there's some protests. Some of the security forces try and shout out who they are and what the consequences are going to be. But nothing seems to sway anybody, and you can hear the rushing of water. And eventually you come to a rather open and rather smelly space where these all of these interlopers are corralled onto a particular platform. The slugger actually goes around personally, and he starts popping the helmets off of the Okada and the SWAT. He kind of makes eye contact with each of them, and one in particular seems to catch his eye. He leans down to that one, and so somebody had actually put tape over this guy's mouth. He rips it off. And the first thing out of this high-wind SWAT officer's mouth is, "So you're going to kill us or what? Get it over with." The slugger kneels down before him. For the second time ever, those of you who would have known him previously, he takes off his mask. He looks this guy full in the face. "No, because I don't make a habit of stacking up bodies. I can take a life, and I will, if I must, but not here and not now. I've got a better idea. You're going to get a chance to sleep in your own bed. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you'll go home, and I will never see you again. More relevant to your current predicament, you will never see me again. All you have to do is tell them all how badly you lost. Tell them about me. Tell them all about my scary friends, and tell them how scared you were. Get one other thing right. This is not a revolution. This is a vendetta." And then very cheerfully, he stands up and he says, "Bonsoir," and he pulls a chain sticking out of the ceiling, and the entire platform beneath these guys opens up, and they drop into a swirling cauldron of water, and you can hear them screaming as they're launched at high speed down a tunnel. They have been flushed basically down a giant toilet.
Would I have recognized any of these people as a former?
I'm gonna say that you've got your suspicions. You might know who some of these guys are.
Okay.
The other end of those tunnels is a sewage treatment plant under the edge of the city. You can't trek back up this way on foot, and there's only a caged ladder to the surface. A long climb with plenty of time to think about how you got there.
So basically, you sent them on the water slide from hell?
And he nods and he says, oh yes. There is sort of a moment where all of these gang lieutenants seem to be waiting for something. And the slugger sweeps across, he makes eye contact with all of them, just like he did with the cops. And he says, you've heard my offer. A better world. One way or the other. You've seen what we're capable of. It's all our turf. Can you dig it? There's a moment of silence, and then there is a cacophony of war cries from these various warrior bands. The slugger appears to have himself an army.
Glad I'm on his side.
He and Mose, they head off down the tunnels, and they actually gesture for y'all to follow them. Folks begin dispersing. By the time you're out of the arteries again, and you're back into neon glow, not only is the crowd of warriors who are left behind, they've all dispersed, but you've got the ones who are around you. They trickle off until it's just your core group again.
At some point, I'm going to walk up just to the slugger in particular. Like, did you just become, like, the king of the underground?
He shakes his head and he says, no, nothing like that. But there's never been a force like this down here. None of them could stand up against me when a bullet still had a chance of stopping me. In the last few years, I've fought gods and demons. They can't stand against me now. I'll do this with or without them, but something's got to give.
Okay, less king, more prime minister president kind of vibe?
There's no politics. I told you this isn't a revolution, this is a vendetta.
I'm just trying to figure out what your deal is, dude.
I'm going to hurt Okada, and whoever else makes this place the kind of hell it is. I'm sick of asking. I'm sick of waiting for things to change. I'm sick of the folks sunny side who think they have problems. I'm tired of waiting for them to grow a conscience.
You've been a little bit too good about the secret part. Most people sunny side don't even know any of this is down here.
Why do you think I sent that cop away with a message? Whatever that brings down on me, I want them to know. They disappear, people. Did you know that if underfolk go to the surface, if you get arrested, you vanish? There's a reason I tore apart a police station and put 30 cops in the hospital. When they took Mose, I had 24 hours to get him back. I would go to prison for a decade if I had to do it over again. But if I'd let him go, I would have never seen him again.
Trust me, I know, you can't trust the cops up there.
And he looks around to each of you, he says, then I would have you fight with me. We've got nobody else fighting for us down here. It has to be us, or it's nobody. And if it's not now, it's never. Nana chose each of you. She sees something. She doesn't see the future. That's not her deal, but she has a knowing of things.
Oh yeah, I thought this was going to come up today, and I just take the key out.
He shakes his head and he says, I have no idea what the hell that is, but I know it's important. Time will tell, but I can guarantee you will find out.
I'm going to say she has like some kind of chain necklace, and she puts the key on the chain and starts wearing that.
The slugger and Mose are going to kind of lead y'all off. The outer walls that make up the main chambers of the underground, they tend to have houses and things built into the walls and just built up because they've got a lot of solid stone to cling to. But people kind of live on like almost like a vertical labyrinth of fire escapes. Some homes are actually dug into the walls by various means and whatnot. The slugger and Mose lead you up about 10 stories and into not a huge space, but very clearly a lived-in, sturdy little space built into the wall. From the outside, you can see all kinds of broadcast equipment, all kinds of like jury-rigged satellite dishes and old like TV antennas sticking out from around this bay window. And when you're led inside to the other side of that bay window, it's a radio station. Mose flips a switch on the wall and the entire room comes to life. You can hear the whining and static. Music not only begins to play in the room, but you can hear it thumping very loudly from speakers outside. You're at the heart of operations of Mose's radio station, Underground Radio Revolution. The young man sinks into a swivel chair and he gives it a spin and he tosses his head back and he sighs.
I'm not leaving this place for a week.
What about your car?
Man, I haven't seen that thing in 3 years. Someone can fucking have it, okay?
The slugger goes over to a corner with this really gnarly easy chair. Like, it's just real sunk in on itself, and it's got all this duct tape on it. And he sinks into it, and it very clearly just kind of forms around him. And you can hear his spine pop as he leans back into it. He pulls out from the stitched up, patched up pockets of his horrible wool overcoat. He begins to smoke some really horrible smelling blend of like tobacco and cannabis, just filling up this corner with smoke. And he says, "All right, time for me to make good on my word. I told you all that I would grant you a favor that if it was within my power, I'll make it happen."
Whatever I would need to officially take down the Black Hound gang that my brother is in. They don't need to be, bang bang taken out, but they need to be taken down. I need him out of that life. That's why I do this.
I have some contacts topside. I presume your brother, this is a topside gang. They're not down here, right?
Yeah, topside.
I've never heard of any Black Hounds, but I'm going to connect you with some folks. I've got more friends up there than you might think. Folks who are definitely more open to our brand of direct action.
I'm all about direct action.
Kevin, my friend, my brother, what can I do for you, and what can I do for Silas? You've proven yourselves to be family to me today.
Silas, go ahead.
Would be nice to know what happened to my parents. I don't really have any information to help you with that. Don't really remember them per se. Being able to figure out whether they are still alive or whatnot would be some nice closure. And if you can't make that happen, making sure that topside corp that kidnapped me and experimented on me for 10 years can't figure out where I am down here would be a nice consolation prize.
The Dirt Magus here, just an internal thing for you. One thing you would have noticed, your entire lives together growing up around, the Slugger has always had some kind of mask. When you were kids, he got called Little Zorro a lot because he basically had a black piece of fabric that was constantly wrapped over his face with little eye holes. He has not put his mask on in a long time, but you can remember him hating the sight of his own face. Like, he beat the hell out of another kid one time because he got his mask pulled off. And he's just kind of sitting in the dark, and you can actually see the faint glow of that bulging left eye that he's got. You can actually see he's only got one eyebrow, and then the other side he's got that tattoo that says "removed for scientific study." And so the dotted line crinkles as his eyebrows go up. He says, "One of the corpos made you what you are?"
I was born special, and then they spent about a decade, by what I can reckon, performing all sorts of fun tests and other things.
He looks from Silas to Kevin and back to Silas. You and I are going to have a long conversation about your goals and my goals, and we're going to see how much they align. But I think we have a great deal in common, you and I. I would like to dedicate more time to that when we are not recovering from battle. But you fought very bravely today, and I'm very impressed with your abilities. And I'm sorry for the pain that has been caused to you, but I assure you, we almost certainly have a mutual enemy out there.
Sounds good. Sorry the guy got away. I thought I had him, but
I don't know that he did. He lost an arm. I'll have my feelers out there. I know the name and at least some of the appearance of my enemy, and I think I know where they came from. These may be the assassins who have come to replace the Venoms. I think the same order is behind them both. I can't be certain yet. But he will turn to the Dirt Magus at this point and say, "What can I do for you?"
I need 3 things, not in necessarily this order. First, I need land. Second, I need soil. Third, I need a workforce.
He is thinking for a moment. For land, there is an entire area known as the Weeds, if you recall. It's out by the fridge, but folks only live out there if they're desperate. It's the stuff grows out there, but it's not good soil. It's contaminated. But that's the most open land that I can think of. If you could purify it somehow, if you could encourage the growth of whatever you're trying to grow out there, but it's called the weeds for a reason. That's mutant plant life out there. As far as territory out there, I could keep people off of your back. A workforce now. I think I could get you a workforce. And soil, I'm almost positive we'll have to get it from topside. Everything's sour down here. I've had some of what you've grown, but that's small scale.
Exactly, and that's the problem. If we can scale it up, make it sustainable, make it something that doesn't rely on my magic.
Something that other people could replicate.
Exactly. Make life sustainable.
He seems to think for a moment before he speaks, as if he's really weighing whether or not to tell you this. He says, I would find out what exactly Nana gave you as quickly as possible.
Okay.
She has the knowing of things. That is her gift. You've seen that all our lives. There's nothing we can hide from her. It's not just because she mothered us. She gave whatever that is to you for a reason. If I were you, I would find out what that is. And to you, detective, you've pulled through from here, and I will not forget that. As far as I'm concerned, you're ever down here, drinks on me. You ever need a safe place to crash, you've got nowhere to worry about on these streets if it is within my power. So what can I do for you?
I appreciate that. I don't know how much information you have on what goes on topside. Are you familiar at all with a politician named Donovan Saunders?
He gives kind of a pained expression. He says, I know almost nothing about topside politics. You may as well ask me to name the planets. But, I said before, I've got contacts. I know a few people.
The official word is that I had a car accident. It wasn't an accident. I was investigating him, and I got this. And she lifts up her, shirt, see, her midriff, and there's, a scar across her stomach.
And the slugger is going to give an appreciative whistle at the scar tissue, and he says, that's a nice one. That would put some of mine to shame. All right, so what do you want to do when you find him?
I want to take him down. I don't necessarily mean kill him, but he's still in power, and he's still using his influence. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those cops that were down here are in his pocket.
That is not an impossibility. If this guy has pull, and he's a politician, if there's one thing I know, they tend to be very friendly with the corpos, not just Okada. That's only part of the puzzle. A very big part of the puzzle, but it's only part of it. There's so many corporate interests down here keeping things the way that it is, it's not even funny.
And I'm hardly the first or last innocent person he's hurt.
So I'm correct in thinking that led to your special circumstances, as it were, yes?
Yes, there's a reason I don't use it all the time. It wasn't known, I don't think, but I ended up having to get a new liver after the accident. It must have come from a post-human.
The slugger is just sort of nodding slowly while looking at you, and he's looking around at each of you, and he says, all right, here's the deal. I can't deliver on all of this right now. Even I get tired. I need a nap. I don't think I've slept in the last couple of days. I'm going to get back to each and every one of you. We're going to plan our next moves. But for now, all of you settle here as our guests and enjoy some music with us. Mose actually begins playing with some dials, and he pulls a mic up to his face.
Good evening, my outcast siblings, my queers, my muties, my friends and neighbors.
You can hear this booming outside of this window. The glass is vibrating. If there are folks in neon glow, they can probably hear this.
The revolution is here. The underground radio revolution. It won't be televised, so you better be advised. We are the sound laid down by the underground, and we're gonna stay up all night just for you. Got a whole shelf of hits for you this fine evening, so stay tuned. We've been fighting a good fight down here, and we're gonna spread the good word too in just a little bit. But first, a cool little number by the Heavy. This is Blood and Fire.
And we're going to pan the camera back, away from the window. You're all sitting in a comfortable little neon glow, and the camera pans away across the skyline, and the song that plays across the whole underground says, moral of the story, you reap what you sow. Go and shout it from the hilltops. Evil better know. There'll be no salutations for putting on the hurt. Only revelations when worst comes to worst. And I sing glory, glory, blood and fire, blood and fire.
Underground Records 3, Rumble, Young Man, Rumble.
Underground Records is a production of Masks and Mayhem and uses the game Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition by our friends at Green Ronin Publishing. Check the link in the show notes to get your own copy of the game. You can also help support us by making a one-time donation or becoming a monthly member through our Ko-fi page. That's ko-fi.com/mayhemcast. A special thank you to our Defenders of Riverside level supporters Streak and Richie. The episode was game mastered by Jordan and was produced by myself, R.C. Byler. The voice of Mosey was played by Brandon Brownson. Our logo art is by Jenn Evans and our font is by Micah Eisen. The Underground Records theme was developed by Vladimir Barry, with production assistance and additional music done by our own Pope Brandon Brownson. Additional social media links, blog posts, and episodes can be found on our website at masksandmayhem.com.
Yay, we did it!
Yay!
I actually think you were all dynamite role players, and your characters were absolutely some of the most fun. I've had some of the most fun in a role-playing group with you all. As the GM here, I would like to say that it is 1 XP per each of these episodes. You all stuck with me through a really long first recording session. You stuck with me through my blunders, and I appreciate that. So for each of your characters, please 3 XP.
Nice.
And this is what in my mind is volume 1, not season 1, but like volume 1 of Underground Records. So these 3 episodes.
I had a lot of fun. I really enjoy this character, and it's kind of fun to play like a character that can go a little bit war crimey, because I don't normally play those sorts of kind of characters. But playing a teenager with like a poorly socialized teenager means that I can do things like commit war crimes on people. It doesn't mean that I should, but it makes more sense.
Does it?
Yes, I don't realize they're war crimes. If I realized they were war crimes, like if I got sat down and told that maybe I shouldn't, like,
let's talk about the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, like if I was sat down and shown the Geneva Convention, it's like, oh, this isn't supposed to be a checklist.
That's out of my area of expertise, so I can't help him there.
But no, I'm really enjoying the character, and I seem to think that folks enjoy the character as well on the other ends.
He called my character Dan.
I also love that dynamic as someone who reads a lot of like Bat family stuff. I really enjoyed playing a more grounded character and a more like, I can't just like, my character has to be a little more strategic in how they use their powers. Like they can't just punch through everything.
That's a thing that I think is super, super interesting, is the fact that the balance of abilities and powers between you. It's some of you have things that by the standards of a normal person would make you a demigod.
Mm-hmm.
But with you, I'm a sucker for private eye characters. I've said that before. It's one of my favorite archetypes. I think they're the coolest.
I was slightly more useful at the investigating than the big battle, but...
Well, but the thing is that your character has a ton of potential, and actually I would like to explore maybe your body is beginning to adapt over time.
That would be cool.
And like our normal game, like it's obviously like way more spread out. And so like mysteries can take like a full fucking season to figure out, whereas this was like super condensed into basically 2 recordings. Each location we went to was like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. It wasn't like it was like season long stretch out of like finding bits of information. It was like each place we went to, it was like we were able to figure it out like quickly.
I'm glad that y'all enjoyed and that I did actually put things for you to do and find, because that is the thing I tried to spend the most time on. I was like, no, I know what the underground looks like in my head, and I know what the people sound like, and I could probably imagine what it smells like. But I was like, you are all of you utterly unique in this space, like the character you're bringing in. And I'm like, how do I be faithful to the story I want to tell and also make it so that there is cool shit for them to do? And I'm really glad that y'all seem to have had a lot of fun with it, because I noticed a lot of moments where you were using your powers and your skills and the things that made you to move through this space. And it just couldn't have gone better. I know the first session ran kind of long, but screw it, we got 3 episodes out of it.
Yeah, and I like that. Like the underground is its own character.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying for. But yeah, I would love with each of the stories that you brought to me. I would love to see more of. I'd like to start taking some characters from the underground and moving them out of that context to kind of show how alien it can make you in the top side.
How did everybody like my description of magic as kind of an intimidation against those?
Yeah, it was sinister as hell.
Yeah, it was really cool. Very much I'm glad. I think he's on our side, right? Oh my god.
Sam's character's like precision takedowns. Yours is like utility and also intimidation. You've got some pretty like hard hitting, and by you I meant the Dirt Magus. Timber's character's got a lot of like nice AoE and like just some really fun powers. And then like mine is like equal utilities and terror. Like I think that's the one thing our group has for it is if we use our powers, a lot of fights we can avoid because we just scare the shit out of the people we're fighting. That's like whatever I was getting paid is not worth me dying in this horrible manner.
I would like to put something out there, even if it may come off a little bit lame. I do want folks to know that if there is something that is unanswered in this session, and you didn't get an answer to it, what's in the vault, what was taken from the vault, who is Nana, what was the giant computer thing that you sensed, Silas?
They were plot hooks placed in.
Those lead off into things.
I was told to go see Nana when I found the lamp.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so actually the lamp, story-wise, ended up getting replaced with the child. Because y'all weren't supposed to end off that second episode. Because of your abilities, you ended up back in the bee's nest. The plan originally was to actually have the slugger take you to a safe place nearby, which would have seen a very different order of operations for this episode as to where you needed to get and why. And so I had to rethink it.
So the child was the lamp. Got it.
And so the child became the lamp because the child was also a verbal link to Nana. Nana says,